Senator Jeff Sessions of Alabama. He serves on the Senate Armed Services Committee. He's also an advisor to Donald Trump. Senator Sessions, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Good, thanks.
So I'm a little confused. Take a listen to Mr. Trump last year.
But there is a method of defeating them quickly and effectively and having total victory. It is a foolproof way of winning the war with ISIS.
So that was Mr. Trump in 2015 talking about his foolproof plan that he said would be secret. Now he's saying that he's going to give the generals 30 days to come up with a plan. What happened to his original foolproof plan?
Well, look, this can be done. And Donald Trump is saying clearly and unequivocally and consistently, we're going to target first, and we're going to defeat them and protect America from that kind of attack. And we're not going to get involved in long, prolonged nation-building matters that create instability in the long run and don't serve America's interests first. So it's in our interest to attack the ISIS and defeat them, and he's got a clear sight about that, and I don't think there's any doubt I don't think he ever doubted that he'd be talking with the generals on how to achieve it.
Yeah, but he said he had a plan. He said he had a foolproof plan, and now he is saying today generals are going to come up with a plan. So did he not have a plan to begin with, or does he think that these generals whom he's said don't know much are going to come up with a better plan than he concocted?
Well, let me tell you what happens. We're going to defeat ISIS. Donald Trump is committed to that. He's going to work with the military to achieve that. And these statements he made during a campaign some months ago, a year ago, are not controlling. He's going to obviously always work toward that end. He's got priorities. I think his positioning is correct, and he's taking the country in the right direction. Defeat your threat and work with allies as much as you can in the region, and to reduce our exposure to military conflict. He wants to reduce conflict and maintain peace through strength, which he made real clear in these remarks.
So I guess I'm to gather from that he didn't actually have a plan in 2015,
you're having fun with this argument, okay? You can keep talking about it, but the American people are concerned about what we're going to do. I have no doubt that he had a lot of ideas about how he planned to deal with this confrontation with ISIS. And he's going to work with our military generals to firm that up and firm up his ideas and move forward. And I believe we can be successful, and I believe we will be successful.
Look, I'm not having fun with it. He said something, and now he's saying something that seems to contradict it, and I'm trying to...
Well, it does. You know, you can say it seems to contradict. I don't think it's a fundamental contradiction at all.
But you say we're going to defeat ISIS, and Mr. Trump says we're going to defeat ISIS. What is President Trump going to do that the military isn't already trying to do?
First and foremost, he's going to get with the military. He's going to give them complete support and give them the leadership to move in this direction. We have not moved sufficiently and decisively enough to defeat ISIS. That's the kind of leader he is, and that's what's going to happen.
Can you give me an example of...
No, I'm not going to lay out the details.
No, not of the plan.
I'll ask Hillary Clinton, what is her plan about defeating ISIS? Or do we continue the same way we're doing now, creating more instability in the region? This is a dangerous situation. Any president is inheriting in January a dangerous situation that should never have happened. It's a direct result of failed leadership. It really is. We should never be in such a dangerous position as we are today.
It's a horrifically dangerous situation. Can you give me an example of, since the war against ISIS began, a time when President Obama or the generals or the admirals or the fighting men and women, when they did not do something that a President Trump would have wanted them to do?
There are a lot of things that are policy decisions that you reach based on the priorities that you have. And I believe that had we unleashed the military and given them more ability to function, they could have been more effective in defeating ISIS already. And I believe we'll be more effective in the future. Donald Trump is committed to that. He's made it clear for months, and he's been consistent on it.
It appears that you don't care for when I bring up things that Mr. Trump said before, so I ask this question knowing that...
Well, I think with the important thing, really, is what are we going to do in the future? What did Donald Trump say today? He said he's going to give a priority to defeating ISIS. He says he's going to work with our allies around the region to try to create stability and peace and not be involved in this kind of...
But I haven't heard one example of one thing that would actually be done differently. Let me just ask you this last question, sir. Trump today criticized Hillary Clinton for supporting military involvement in Iraq and Libya. He called her trigger happy. He said she was unstable and reckless. Trump is, of course, on the record supporting the invasion of Iraq and supporting U.S. military intervention in Libya.
That's an overstatement. One time he said, well, maybe, but he opposed Iraq, and he's been a critic of Iraq, and he opposed Libya, and that was Hillary Clinton's deal.